All right, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy EJ, and today I'm bringing y'all a very special unboxing for me, at least, because I have been waiting to get my hands on this gimbal for a while now, and I really wish I would have headed for my trip over in the Philippines, but I didn't. So it's here today. We're gonna unbox it, take a look at it, and I also got my iSteady M6 right here, and we're gonna kind of look at some of the differences between the two gimbals and see if you should buy an M6 at a lower price or buy the iSteady M7 at a higher price. See which one kind of matches your flavor as far as your video recording, because gimbals have came a long way. They have came back. I know that they have the DJI Osmo Pocket, but a gimbal is way more better than having an Osmo Pocket. Because once that Osmo Pocket break, you out of the game. If you got a gimbal and your gimbal broke, you still got your cell phone, so you're still in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely look into getting a gimbal and a cell phone, because you already got a phone. So get the gimbal, pay what, 129 or whatever like that for a gimbal, and you don't have to worry about the issues that you'll have with the Osmo Pocket, which is one of the reasons why I didn't get one, because I have the V3 right here, and this right here, I said I wasn't going to use it with the bag. But, you know, I've been using it with the bag on it. I used this while I was in the Philippines a lot. Yeah, the Hohem V3 is definitely a good gimbal to have. And it's just 129. It comes with the tracker. So, definitely a good gimbal to have. And it easily fits in your pocket, your purse, or whatever like that. It don't take up a lot of room. So, yeah, good companion for your smartphone. But we're going to go ahead and get on with the M7 boxing. Here's the box. Hohem did a real good job on doing that box. That's the box right there. They kind of show you a lot of the features and what you get in the box and stuff like that, you know. Got the big M7 on there, and the M6 didn't have that on his case. The case is nice. I normally don't use the case when I'm out in the field recording and stuff like that. I normally just connect the gimbal to my backpack, no different than what you would do with a tripod. So I normally do mine like that. We're going to start with this because I know there's probably really not nothing in it, but you got the USB cable. What else we got? We got your instructions. So if you're new to gimbals, you probably need to read the instructions. So you got your instruction manuals and a couple of different languages. We got the tripod legs. And I think somebody said that they're bigger. Let me see. Oh, yeah. For sure. That should give you a little more stability, especially if it's windy outside. That's pretty much it in the case. Here's the gimbal. Put these tripod legs on. You know how to get these super tight. There we go. Here's both of the gimbals. Yeah, I guess the M7 is considerably bigger than the M6. Nice. The other thing that the M7 updated was they put locks on all of your arms, all your axes, and on this one here, the M6, they didn't. So you only got a lock on the main pan motor down here at the bottom. Is the only one that got a lock on it. The rest of the motors don't have a lock. And they did change the lock style. On here they got a little flip switch. And over here they got this little dial closer to the motor. They don't have it right here. And the other thing they added was the M7 logo. On the M6 it doesn't have that. And it looks like they moved the time lapse button down lower instead of having them up higher. Yeah, and both of them have a quarter thread on the side. They both got that. Yeah, they both got counterweight attachments up here as well. I would say the two main better features besides the locking arms, which this not locking don't really matter, because when you strap it to your backpack or whatever like that, or if you carry it in a case, this is not gonna flop around. The only time you may see it flop a little bit is when you're using it with your cell phone and you walking around with your cell phone, and it's in this mode here where all the stuff is locking. If you got your cell phone or something in there, it's going to flop around on the M6, but it's not going to flop around on the M7 because it locks. And this is how you change from vertical to horizontal mode. The other thing they changed too, they actually gave you these little buttons to press to remove the tracker. And on the M6, when you have the tracker on it, if you just bump that tracker like that, it'll just come flying off, you know. And for me, if it wasn't from this color and this little trim, shiny trim right here that he has around it, it'd be very, very hard to find that thing falling in the gray, especially since the majority of it's black. But just because of this little shiny stuff, I was able to find it every time I lost it, you know, or knocked it off the gimbal. The other star to show is going to be the remote. And this is the remote that actually you can use it like a selfie camera or a selfie screen where you can see yourself, and it allows you to flip your camera around backwards and use your main cameras, and you don't have to use the selfie cameras, and you can use this little screen to frame yourself up. And all your controls is on here too, as far as your changing your pan, your pan follow, your lock modes, and all that stuff is all on here. Your record button, you can tilt and pan the gimbal from here. You can also change, which a lot of people don't say on their review, you can also change from photo to video by pressing this button. And you can also reset the gimbal once you change everything. So, and you can hold a remote control too. Like say if you was using the AI tracker to follow you, you can just hold a remote control to make sure you're still in the frame where you want to be. You can kind of see what you're actually doing, and you don't have to be standing by the gimbal or holding the gimbal or have somebody operating the gimbal for you. The other new cool feature they added was this. They added a selfie stick on there. It don't really go up that high, but this right here is enough to where if you was in a crowd and you need to get over their heads, this is definitely enough to make that happen. Or if you want to do, say, a low shot, or just add more background to yourself while you vlogging on it. So this one will come in really clutch for a good blogging gimbal. But if DJI want to send me an Osmo Pocket, I would definitely test it out if they want to send me one. Anyway, no real weight difference. Let me grab a cell phone and stick it on there. And I always use mine as well with the Hohem Joy app. I don't ever just really use it with the native camera app. I use the Hohem Joy app for it almost every time. Then if we want to activate the tracker, we just give it the OK sign. Tracker activated. This is great for if you're doing any type of cooking show or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you got a group of people and you want to move around the group and you talking to them or whatever. Or let's say if you outside doing some kind of a yard project, lawn project, flower planting or something like that, and you don't have somebody to hold your camera, you can definitely do it this way. And the only thing I would add would be, like, if I was outside, I would add a tripod to the bottom and do it that way. I wouldn't use this tripod. I would use like a bigger camera tripod where you can raise it up higher. And yeah, you're pretty much good at that point. And even like say if you was blogging, like say if I was blogging with this thing, this is something else people don't show you, but if you're blogging, you can still turn on the tracker. And that way, if you're doing any kind of different movement, the camera will still follow you and make your video and stuff look very, very sweet with the gimbal following you. And that's why gimbals are doing good as far as being vlogging tools, because of how good they are. So they're just not just for using them for stabilization. So don't think, oh, I'm only going to get a gimbal and I'm going to get a gimbal for stabilization. No, you don't need the gimbal just for stabilization. You can use it just to keep you framed up. Because another thing too, when you got the track on, it's actually going to keep you in the center of the screen. So I noticed on some of my blogs when I'm blogging, I dropped the camera down too low. Like if I'm using the Insta360 or something like that, and then it's cutting off part of my head, part of my face, or whatever like that. But with the track on there, even if I drop the camera down or the gimbal down too low, it's constantly keeping my face on the screen. So even when I bring it back up, my face is still staying centered on the screen. When I lower it down, I'm still staying centered. If I twist it to the side like this, because I want to show something over here, it's still keeping me centered on the screen because the tracker is on there, and the tracker is constantly doing its job by keeping the subject in the center of the screen at all times. Then if I want to do it with the selfie stick way, as you can see, the camera is still trying to face me. I was trying to get the face that way, but now I can see myself on this screen right here, and I can use the back cameras by clicking this button. Now the camera is looking away from me, but with the back cameras, now I can see myself on this screen right here. Not right now because I need to turn the tracker around and face it toward me, but you get what I'm saying. I would have to do it like this pretty much. Pop this off. Pop it on. Now it's backwards. And then flip on the back cameras. That is nice. You know, I don't know what Hohem, what made them think of this screen here. And the only question now is who's going to copy. Is it going to be DJI? Is it going to be Insta360 Flow Pro? It's probably Flow Pro 3. And for DJI, it'll probably be because I think they're on the 7P now, so it'd be like what, the 8P, and they'll come out with this little screen. Although I would think that they would probably come up with this screen situation on one of their bigger gimbals before they did it on the little small gimbal. Hohem don't actually have a big gimbal like what DJI got. They got the MT2, but it's not like a really big gimbal. It would actually be like that. Now with me using the back cameras, the main cameras, I'm actually getting a higher quality video using the back cameras. I'm trying to see if that arm is gonna, yeah, there it is right there. Then the arm come into play. Okay. And there we go. Now I'm doing the selfie thing. I'm using my big camera. I'm getting a much wider view all around me. And I'm using this little small screen here to pretty much show me what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? So now I know exactly what's showing up in the screen. If I had more people, other people to blog with me or whatever like that, then they can easily fit in the screen because I'm using the back cameras now. And that's how you get the arm out of the way. Four presses. Now, even when I go down like this, the arm is not in the way. I can't go down too low because then the gimbal itself will be in the way, but you get the picture. That right there is like super duper nice. That's super nice. DJI Insta360, you got your hand full. If y'all gonna match this, you got your hand full. I'm actually surprised that Hohem even came up with doing this. And see, now I can do, instead of using my selfie camera, I can do regular blogs, I can do products, showing off products or whatever, and I don't have to use the selfie camera because I got this little screen here and I can use it as my selfie camera. So I can show something off. Hey, I got this right here. I can go into the screen to, yeah, I can do all that now. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, this right here is amazing. Be like, hey guys, check this out. This is a new product that I got. Yeah, that's amazing. You know, I don't know where else they can really, you know, take a gimbal to. I don't know what else they're going to come out with. I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with something else that's going to be spectacular. The main thing I would like to see them get it to where your cell phone don't have to butt up to this arm right here where it's totally the other way. Matter of fact, let me change right quick. Which is the only, I'm not going to even say it's a big negative. Because if you know how you're filming, it really kind of don't matter. And then it do matter. It like don't matter and then it do matter. I thought that would be something that Hohem would have fixed. But they didn't. So you pretty much got to take your phone off. Twist that. This is what you'll hear most people complain about. You know. You have to do it, so whoop-de-doo. It's not really a big issue for me because I know when I go out there and start recording, I know if I want to be in vertical mode or if I want to be in horizontal. I already know pretty much what I want to do, but there it is. Same scenario. If I'm using the front camera or whatever, I can still do that. Start the tracker up and it's tracking me. And I still can look on the screen. I can see myself on the little screen. That right there is almost priceless, you know. I'm actually surprised that they sold this gimbal at the price they did after putting that screen on there, and it's wireless. Like what? It's wireless. Wireless video feed going into your gimbal. Wow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I also got a quick short video I did, making a little video using this gimbal and stuff like that. I'm gonna do some more complex shots, scenes, or whatever you want to call them, with the Hohem gimbal. Hopefully we'll get some drifting in using the gimbal as well, so you can see how the gimbal operates with that. So, man, that right there that's amazing. But that's pretty much the Hohem gimbal right there in a nutshell, you know. And guys, this pretty much is going to be what it's going to look like if you was vlogging using the selfie camera. I'm going to turn on the tracking so you can see what I mean by how the camera, it just followed me into the sunlight. Then I didn't try to do that, but how the camera is pretty much going to track. You can kind of hold the gimbal one way, and as you see, it's doing a much better job than what I do with keeping myself centered in the screen. And that's going to be a really big plus, having a gimbal versus a selfie stick. When you think about it, a gimbal is actually the evolution of a selfie stick, or maybe the selfie stick came first and then the gimbal came, but I don't know which way that actually went. And I mean for the cell phone. I don't mean for like regular camera. I mean for the cell phone, because besides the MT2, I don't really know of a gimbal that got an AI tracker on it for a regular camera. Because of course you don't get any app controls or anything like that. But yeah, this right here is definitely a game changer. I really like it because I do not have to concentrate on keeping myself centered into the screen as long as I got that tracker on. It's going to automatically keep me centered into the screen. And look how much of the view you get. That's using the selfie camera. Look how good the image quality is showing up. And I can sit here and I can blog and I can talk and stuff like that and walk while I'm out here hiking or doing whatever kind of exploring or whatever I'm doing. And I don't have to worry about keeping myself inside the center of the screen because it's doing it for me. Even if I drop it down like that, it's still following me. You see what I'm saying? When I raise it back up, it's still following me to keep me in the center of the screen. Even when I change hand switches like that, it's still working hard to keep me in the center of the screen while I'm blogging and talking and stuff. So that right there is definitely a game changer. And I know that the Insta360 Flow and the 7P from DJI got the tracker on it too, so they can do pretty much the same thing. So it's going to come down to a matter of taste of which one you like, or what style of gimbal you like. Me, I started off with the Hohem. I really like the Hohem. I never owned the DJI, and I have never owned the Flow from Insta360. And to be honest with you, I didn't even like the Flow, the way it's designed and stuff from Insta360. But I know on the Flow Pro 2, they have that case. I think it's not really a case, but it's something that you can put on your backpack strap, and you can actually connect the gimbal to this backpack strap adapter. And I really do like that right there. So I might actually get the Flow just so I can get that attachment, because that would really come in handy, where I can just be having it on my backpack strap and be able to pull it off and remove it and be able to use it and then just easily put it back on. I don't never have to take my backpack off. So that right there is neat. Maybe Hohem should try to make something like that. I don't know if anybody got a way of trying to rig something up to make that happen, but yeah, definitely that would definitely be a neat thing to have, where you can just attach your gimbal to you and then unattach it when you get ready to use it, especially while you're out hiking or something like that. But for right now, we definitely going to put a lot of use into the M7. We definitely going to do that. We're going to put a whole lot of use into it, because right there, how that gimbal is following me and keeping me centered, that right there is priceless. I definitely love that. I never did that with the M6. So, and the M6 can do it. So, because the M6 has a tracker on it too. The only issue is with the M6 is that you got to be very careful, because that tracker can get knocked off. And I don't really know why anybody makes it to where the tracker can be removed from the gimbal. I would actually hard mount the tracker to the gimbal and make it to where you have to just twist the tracker forward or backwards, or even make a tracker where it can work forward or backwards. It don't matter which way the tracker is pointing. Just point a camera in both directions. And even if you have to charge a little more money to make that happen, just do it that way. So the tracker don't even have to be removed, because it's kind of not really necessary for you to remove the tracker. I never remove the tracker from my gimbals. I always have the tracker on there. Man, I love the way that thing just keeps me centered in the screen. I'm probably never going to blog another way. You know, my ultimate selfie stick, I might have to stop using it, you know what I'm saying? Because that right there, the way this is keeping me centered, is priceless. Because, man, that arm fatigue will sneak up on you, and you'll start dropping lower to the ground with your arm, and then half of your head will be like cut off in the screen. But With the tracker on, that right there don't even happen. Look. Look at that. For the video, go ahead and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to try to put this gimbal to work. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Alright guys, look at that. Putting it to work.